Hello, hello, listeners, and welcome back to the Jeune Mama podcast, where we talk about all things pregnancy, postpartum, motherhood, tips and tricks, and more from a Senegalese American perspective. I'm your host, Aissatou Gise, and today I have a very special, near and dear guest to me. I'm going to let her introduce herself in a minute, but today the topic is going to be a discussion on our experiences around Senegalese versus Nigerian pregnancy and motherhood. So we'll have a really in-depth discussion about that. But before we get into that, I want to give my guest, Taiwo, a chance to introduce herself to you guys. Hi, Taiwo.
Hi, guys. Hi, everyone. My name is Taiwo. I'm super excited to be here. I've been watching all of the various episodes, and I was so stoked when I opened it up. So, yeah, I hope you guys have fun listening to our experiences, and hopefully we can do more of this.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just going to pull up my notes here on my phone so I can challenge you today with my Would You Rather game.
I think this fun, but
You didn't give consent. Would you rather, Taiwo, change your baby's diaper or deal with them while they're crying in the car?
change diaper.
Okay. Would you rather wrestle with them to give them food or try to get them into a car seat?
Wrestle.
You like to tussle. Would you rather give your baby a bath or deal with a diaper blowout?
Oh, a bath for sure.
Would you rather watch kids' cartoons all day or spend all day outside at the park?
Kids cartoons all day. Like now we know all the songs, everything. So that then outside.
I feel like I like the songs more than my baby now.
Like so myself, like when I'm without the baby, just singing, and I'm like, what am I even singing? Like random baby cartoons and
I
things.
know. Okay, would you rather, let's see, let me give you a juicy one. Would you rather drink everything from a baby bottle or wear adult diapers for the rest of your life?
Drink from drink from a baby bottle for sure.
Okay, and then the last one, would you rather have surprise triplets or a surprise baby at age 50?
A surprise baby, triplets. That's three times the fun. No, surprise baby, please. At
Oh,
15.
okay, no problem. Okay. So I like to play that game with people just to get the juices flowing, make sure that you feel comfortable. So with that, we can get into the actual episode. Let me pull up my notes. All right. All right. Before we get into the episode, actually, I wanted to give a disclaimer that Taiwo and I are not the spokespeople for Nigerian and Senegalese experiences. We're just going to be talking about our own experiences and giving our opinions. So, take everything we say with a grain of salt. We also encourage everyone who is listening to reach out to us or just comment on the episode, talk about your experiences. I think that's one thing about pregnancy and motherhood. It's a unique journey for everyone. So just wanted to put that out there. With that, I wanted to ask you, in Nigerian culture, do people hide their pregnancies?
Yeah, that's a good one. So yeah, most people hide their pregnancies. So people always tell the joke of when you don't see someone on social media for a while, it just probably means they're pregnant. If they're not posting anything, they're probably pregnant. So people hide it because of this. I don't know, like our parents, like, oh, don't let so that nothing happens to your pregnancy. Keep it from bad people or funny things like that, or
Yeah.
just trying to protect what's sacred. Just keeping till like you're sure and you want to announce. But yeah, it's definitely a thing.
We have that too in our culture. So do you get to a point where you do announce it after you're further along or you don't announce it at all? Because in Senegalese culture, you just pop up with a baby.
So it's two ways. Some people, I think it's a thing of like preference. Some people announce it when they do like the shoots and then they post like their maternity shoots. Others, you just find out when they have the baby, or some post maternity shoots after they have the baby, and then you're like, oh, you know. So yeah, I think people, it's half and half, but definitely, no, I wouldn't say half and half. I would say 80% or like 70% announce when they already had the baby, and maybe there's some 30% that somewhere
Okay.
midway expecting the baby. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know that I know of anyone that announced it publicly. So like you might tell your close friends, but to announce it, I don't think people are doing that. And we're starting to do maternity shoots in our culture, like those of us living abroad, even back home in Senegal too. But even then, they will wait until after the baby is born to post their maternity shoot pictures.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yep. Are there any specific cultural practices that you know of that you want to talk about when it comes to Nigerian pregnancy?
The pregnancy itself, maybe like things that you're not allowed to eat, which
Okay.
is sometimes so funny because it's not, I don't know that it's backed by any science or anything. Like mothers just say some, weird things, or like things you're not allowed to do. Like a lot of them I think are dated, but like you hear things like don't go out with, like if you're pregnant, don't go out in the sun or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. What happened? Like, they go, what, what do you guys mean? Like the sun, or like I've heard one about safety, like pins, like so put pins in your like outfits if you're pregnant, just so that if there's any evil spirit attacking the pins. I'm like, oh yo guys. So like there's some really ridiculous things like that, but like and like things to eat, yeah, but I think those are like the funny ones, like on the cultural side, that
Yeah.
come to mind. How about in Senegal? You guys have
It's
like,
funny you mentioned the bra thing because I remember when I was pregnant, my mom gave me something that I was supposed to wear on my bra. But the
yeah,
thing was so hard to attach to the bra. So I'm thinking if I have to change bra, I have to go and remove it
yeah,
from the first bra and put it on the next one. God forbid I put it in the laundry. So I was
yeah,
like, I'm not doing this. This is too much time. But
yeah.
I agree with you that there's just some things that it's more historical. I don't know that science has any backing to it. Like for
Mm.
your culture, if they say don't go out during the sun is out all day.
Yeah. So like, do I not move because
Yeah.
I'm pregnant? Go out? No. Then the twist is then they tell you, oh, and don't go out at night because at night. I'm like, oh, okay. So I don't go out when the
You
sun
know,
is hot. Then when?
when do
I
I get
probably
to go out?
so yeah. Like it's so
That actually
funny.
that actually segues into a question I have for you on like the work-life balance because you and I are both working moms. So how does that work then when you
Hmm.
have certain cultural limitations, but you want to actually work? Are there stigmas around that in your culture?
No, not at all. I think in the past, like if I think about my mom's experience, and they had like the flexibility of choosing not to work, so like
Hmm.
they have people that help be like the grandmas and like nannies, aunties. People are like, they have so much help and they just
Hmm.
stay home. They don't, the husbands provide. And so, but that's not an expectation per se,
Hmm.
but like if you want to do that, that's being a working mom. I think it's okay as long as you can strike that balance of
Okay.
being there.
Hmm.
I think it's when then you start getting a lot of heat, so like, oh, you left the baby and then you're just working, blah blah.
Hmm.
But like if you strike the balance, somebody there to help, like your mom, your husband's mom, like, or like a nanny, just have some support, and
Hmm.
your support from time to time. That's fine.
Okay. Okay. The next question I have for you is what does the postpartum recovery period look like in Nigeria? So I'll give you an example. Like in Senegal, once you have the baby, you basically you have to cover your body because they say your body is open. So they will be rubbing shea butter on you, making sure you get the massages to close your body back up. I don't think you can just be out however you feel, especially with the baby. I think a lot of people wait like a month, 2 months, 3 months before they start leaving the house again. What does that look like in your culture?
Yeah, whoa, that one is quite dramatic too. Like in Nigeria, when you have the baby, there's just so many things. Like I remember I was just overwhelmed, and I just told my mom, even my mother-in-law, like, no, I don't want, like, just leave me alone, you guys. Like, I'm not, because you just come back from the hospital, you just had a baby. Oh, we need to massage your tummy and, whatever. Okay, cool. With hot water, you sit on the bowl with hot water so that all the bad blood comes out. I'm like, okay. And then they start telling you they need to press your tummy every day for like maybe hot water, a towel, press. So, I'm like, okay. And then after that, they have to tie you. I don't know if you guys have, they use like a cloth, like a blank, like something really thick, like, and then just tie on around your tummy so that you like snap back.
Snap back.
And you have to wear that. So, there's the modern, the belts, like those postpartum belts that are like, X, and they tell you, no, that one won't tie it properly. It will not give you the tie. I think I did it for like, I don't even think it was up to like 3 days, and I'm like, I'm done. Even the pressing, not anything. They're like, that's why we're here. I'm like, not that. The baby, you eat some things, they'll make you like all these vegetable drinks, all manner of things. You have to drink this, soups, pap, which is kind of like a maize, like pudding, so to say, where you lactate, so you are just bombarded with everything left, right, center. If not, your milk will not come out. You go and drink pap, they will make it in a jug, put it by your bedside. I'm like,
yeah.
What problem? But yeah.
We have something similar. It's called Rui. I've had pop before. Rui is a different taste. It's more like sour, because pop, I think, is very smooth. And if you add the milk and everything, it ends up having a very sweet flavor. Rui can be sweet too, but behind the sweetness is like a tanginess. And I think it's millet powder that they cook, and it's supposed to help you with lactation as well, to make milk. The way they jam that down your throat. Like, I remember after I had my baby and I came home, I was so tired. I just wanted to relax. But every 2 seconds, my mom was handing me a bowl of Rui, and she's like, drink this. And there's a version of Rui where they put palm oil.
Oh, no.
It's the most disgusting thing. I'm sorry to anyone who likes it. It was the most disgusting thing I've ever had. And they brought it to the hospital. They said, start drinking this now. So the first time I just drank it because I'm thinking, okay, I'm supposed to do this. But then my gag reflex was not allowing me to enjoy it. So afterwards, I had to just be like, look, I know that this is something you think I should be doing, but I need an alternative because I can't eat. It's raw palm oil that you're just drinking.
Wow.
It was disgusting. It's crazy, the things that they make us do. And like during that period, you would like the attention to be less invasive because you just went through a really invasive period. Like giving birth is very invasive. So now you come home and they add more things on top of it.
Yeah, I like the word invasive because I felt the same. I'm like, it's just, so many things happen, you just don't have control, and then you come back and you're bombarded left, right, center. You're trying to get some rest, but it's impossible. And sure.
I think something we have in common in both our cultures is a naming ceremony, if I'm not mistaken. So what does that look like for you guys?
Yeah, so ours is after 8 days.
8 days. Okay.
Yes, 8 days. Like, I think in my culture is 8 days. Some cultures have it different, but I think 8 days is kind of like an average kind of like timeline. So after you have the baby. So before, because you can have like identify the name for so in the hospital is like baby Shoemi in my case, which is like my last name. And so you have the baby 8 days later, you then send the names to everyone, like everybody in your family, like your close, like your parents, your siblings, all give a name for the baby. And then so when you come together at the name ceremony, they call out all the names, like everybody has, and most people call the baby by the name they gave the baby. So like if my father-in-law wanted like address like my daughter, he would use the name like he gave to her, like, oh, like she's Dara, but he'll say, oh, I was Opeyemi, because that's like one of the names he gave, and you just she's fine, everybody kind of like wants it personal, like, oh, how is, whatever. It's fine. You just have to remember all the names, but definitely like your, one middle name, which is usually the name from the grandfather, like my father-in-law. That's usually the one that is adopted as the child's name.
Okay.
So the name from the parents, and then that one, and like on like her documents and all of that.
Okay. So, okay, I want to make sure I understand. So basically, everyone in the family that matters, or like the close family that matters, will pick a name. They will bring that to the naming ceremony. But then you,
Yes,
as the parents, do you pick from one of those, or you pick your own first name?
your own. You pick
Your
your
own.
own.
And then the grandfather, the name that they selected would be the middle name.
Yes, or so in some cases the first name, but in my, I
Okay.
was like the middle name. Like I want matter. Like yeah.
So, oh wow. So, are there ever instances where you might be talking to a family member, you forgot what name they picked, and then they're asking you about someone, you're like, who?
No, so personally,
Yeah.
but all of them are flexible. Like they just call the child in the name like the parents. Like my
Okay.
mom does, but like some are so traditional. Like they will
Mm,
call the child, and you have to like, oh, you have to address the child that way every time. And but yeah, sometimes when my father-in-law says, because he gave about 3 names, so sometimes he interchanges. He can call this one like. So sometimes after, so I'll say, oh, she's fine, because I remember all that. It's just quite dramatic sometimes.
I love it. At the same time, it can be chaotic. I imagine me, I'm very forgetful. So you're going to be talking about someone, I'll be like, who? In our culture, the way we do it, it's 7 days after.
Yeah.
So when the day that you give birth, when that day returns, that's when you have the naming ceremony. And the way that we name, it's typically, so at the time that you get married, they sometimes will assign like 2 women from your husband's side. So the first person will be from your husband's uh, paternal side, and the second
Okay.
person will be from your husband's maternal side. And those are called njekes. So I have 2 njekes who,
Hmm.
like down the line, if I were to have baby girls, ideally I would name my baby like the first baby girl after the first njeke and the second baby girl after the second njeke. For men, you can pick whatever. For baby boys, you can pick whatever name you want. But for the girls, that's usually how the tradition goes. But nowadays, especially outside of the continent, outside of the country, people are starting to kind of pick their own names and not strictly stick to that tradition. Like, and sometimes it doesn't even make sense. Like me, my name is Isatu. My first and doesn't like my first and second Yikis both named Isatu. So I'm not naming my baby Isatu.
Like I said to, so on and so forth. Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of those cultural practices that back in the day was nice to kind of keep the family together. But
Yeah.
as time
Nah.
goes, people are now like, no, I'm gonna do my own thing. Okay, now I'm gonna start asking you more questions more geared towards motherhood. We talked about pregnancy a lot, but I wanted to ask you, how was your motherhood experience as a new mom when you initially became a mom? How was that experience for you?
I think it was great. But definitely has its challenges, like we all know. Like, but it was very defining moment. It's like sometimes I'm just still taken aback. I'm still
Yeah.
overwhelmed. I'm actually somebody's mother. Like that's myself, and push myself for I'm like somebody's relying on me. Even if I don't get things done, I just have to push myself. But like the whole motherhood experience, I think for me, I had help, like my mom and then my mother-in-law. So they really helped me through like the first few months, just, fresh from the hospital overnight to do the drill. Then I get to sleep in the mornings and then pick up the baby later. So I had support, and I was asking a lot of questions, like,
Hmm.
to my friends, like, hey, I'm clueless. What happens now? Like, oh, what kind of cereals did you use? Like, what kind of diapers? What kind of wipes? Or like, medications? Like, do you use this vitamin D supplements? Is it necessary?
Yeah.
Happens run a fever? you take them to the hospital immediately? Do you wait and see? Like, I just always had so many questions. Like, I had this group chat with like so my friends have like 2 kids each, and every time I come there, they'll say, "Taiwo, questionnaire, you've come again. What's?" I'll say yes, no. Like, so a ton of questions. Yeah, but I think it got better. Like, people used to say to me then that don't worry, it gets better, and I thought it was just like something cliche, like, yeah, right. But like, it actually did get better.
Okay.
Like, because you feel like now a bit more experienced and cycle the routines with like the baby, and then I'd get confidence like, oh, okay, I'm actually not thinking it, actually done. So yeah.
Good. I think, yeah, I had similar experience, but I was just Googling away. Just,
Yeah.
yeah, I was like just on Google all the time, and everything was something, 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 Senegal, something, 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 Islam. So I'm literally just trying to figure out all these different things. And it was definitely like a roller coaster experience. I think it was nice that you had that community, like that group of friends that you could ask questions to. That always helps. And I have a friend who had a baby a couple months before me. So I really bothered her a lot. To this day, I still am like, hey, this is what she's doing. Did this happen for you
Yeah.
too? She's like, yeah,
Yeah.
you're fine.
Yeah.
So that helps. What's one thing you would do differently if you could go back to those beginning days?
Not beat myself up too much. Like,
Mm,
I think I was just so paranoid. Like, if I did something wrong, like, feel so bad. Oh my God. Like, I forgot, like, I didn't pump, and she's hungry now, and I'll just be hysterical. Like, I did exclusive breastfeeding for both my kids, like my first,
okay.
second, but I think there was at some point that to be a way for like when I had my second, and I had to augment with like supplements with formula.
Mm-hmm.
And first I was very paranoid about it, like, and I didn't use formula at all. Like, I just did breast milk the whole like time.
Mm-hmm.
But back to your question, I would have done that differently, because then so critical, put myself under so much pressure. Like, you can imagine if a mom is not like lactating, maybe
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, do whatever I needed to do, and I wasn't lactating the next morning, and I'm always just stressed. I used to be so stressed then.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everybody would be looking at me like, where's the milk? You can imagine being under so much pressure. I'm like, oh, it's not. It's just like 50, 1 ounce. I'm
Yeah.
trying. So why all that
Yeah.
madness? Like, it definitely cut out all that noise and
Yeah.
not under so much pressure, because they're fine. There's nothing. They'll still be fine
Mm-hmm.
regardless of what option,
Yeah.
formula, breast, and just be less critical about everything. I think overall.
That's good feedback. And I think I would tell myself the same thing. I also exclusively breastfeed. And I remember in the beginning days, when you're pregnant, they tell you about all these pumps and do this, and you store the milk, you build a stock. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to have a fridge full of milk. And hey, I was not lactating enough. At least I thought in my head I wasn't. So one, babies' stomachs are so small in the beginning anyways, you don't need a lot of milk.
Mhm.
And then what I was doing was I was stressing myself out trying to make more milk. And because I was stressing, my body wasn't making milk. So
Exactly.
here I was pumping, pumping, pumping. And like you said, I'm like, I was just like, oh, that's 30 milliliters. This is so small. The next time I pump, it's even less. So I'm literally having on my phone, I had alarm clocks every 2 hours. Every 2 hours, I'm pumping, pumping, pumping. And it wasn't until I stopped pumping and just breastfeed that it got a lot better and I was actually making more milk. But
Mhm.
that those early days, I think that's good advice to be graceful to yourself and just take the time to allow your body to do what it's supposed to do versus trying to make it do. And it doesn't help when people are asking you to, like, I don't know, my mom was like, it's because you're not drinking your rui. It's because you're
Yeah.
not doing it. It's not because
I used to eat so many things. I'll have oats. They'll say, why don't you try the papa pap? Oh, the oats, the oats biscuits, granola, like crazy, like a crazy person, literally
Yeah.
just eating water, doing everything just because I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying.
Yep.
And it never comes until you actually just calm down.
Exactly. Exactly. Along the same lines, what is something that you want to do differently going forward as a mom?
Mm, I think it will be along the same lines of just like chilling out, like even with my husband, like when he's like trying to put the baby to sleep a different way than I put baby to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's like, no, don't do it like that. Like this, he won't sleep. How are you putting him there? No, hold him like this. Be careful his neck. Like now, like, hey, do your own turn and sleep. Like if
Yeah.
you like, whatever, you will sort yourselves out,
Yeah.
So I think going forward as a mom, just like chill out. Like it's everything will be okay, fall in place. Obviously be intentional and like pay attention to like the details, like if they're sick, if they are acting weird or anything. But like when it comes to like the dad, like let them do their own thing so that they also get comfortable with the child, whether you're there or not. Because I feel like I was helicopter mom, always
Yeah.
like, what are you doing? Oh, don't bop him like that, bop her like this. So like going forward, I'm just gonna be like, yo, do your thing. Like as long as
Yeah.
your neighbor is okay. Yeah.
Oh, that's I'm getting flashbacks too because I do the same thing. I'm like, no, no, let me do it.
Yeah. Eventually I find out that I born out because I was always like, chiming in and doing everything. But like the second time I'm just like, do your thing. And I found like that also helped him build his own confidence as
Mm-hmm.
like there, like, yeah, whatever. But before I was, always trying to peep, like, okay,
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, for sure. Just
Do
chill.
you think like with the help that you get from aunties and mother-in-law and mom that men have traditionally always been involved in raising the children, or do you think that's changing, that now men are more involved than they used to be?
I think they're definitely more involved because if I think about like my mom's experience, like my mother-in-law, like just that generation, their experience, I think like they have so much help. Like when someone has a baby, it's almost like you rally the troops, like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
especially. But so the fathers, they just, I think that they just, their function is like the responsibility is just like to provide, like
Provide.
diapers, the money, what you guys need, everything. Like, but come and like put the babies to sleep or bath the baby. Like, how?
Yeah.
It's almost that's not his job in
Yeah.
quote. Which I feel like no, it's not. It's whose job? Like, is it my job to also put the diaper while you are chilling? So, like, I saw up some days ago where he was like, oh, if you like, he was saying to dad, if you want to get your wife's attention, just what was it, like, just do nothing or like be calm, just be watching TV, like just be. So round me up like, hello, you see your leg, I'm confused while I'm here going crazy. So right now I think definitely they're more involved than previously with the whole tradition thing. Like I make sure like my husband is involved with things like help, support, just so that they don't also get comfortable or
Yeah.
complacent. Hey, like she's got it, her
Yeah.
job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, yeah, similar situation for us. Back home, you have help. You're not,
Mhm.
very rarely are you just by yourself when you have a baby. I think my experience living in the US has been one where, like, my mom came 1 month before I gave birth and she stayed 1 month after. After
Mm.
that, she left and it was just me and my husband and the baby. And I had to find that balance of how much do I do versus how much do I let him do. And I
Mm.
found recently that the more you give them the space to do what they need to do, they also build a bond with their kids. I think, I don't know if Nigerian culture is similar, but one thing I always talk about with my Senegalese friends is like the affection between, especially our dads, sometimes is not always there because it could be a disconnect in how we were brought up. That, nannies raised us or our moms raised us and our fathers were more like just the providers. But like when I see like girl dad memes or girl dad posts on social media, I'm like, oh, that's so nice. I wish I had that with my dad. And that's not to say that the love is not there. I think it's just how the affection is shown looks different. And I'm realizing now with my daughter and her dad, I'm like, I want them to have that kind of relationship. So I have to take a step back and let him do his thing, like you said.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think definitely the same, like in Nigeria with the culture as well, is there's that tendency for the dads to just like provide and do all of that. If you don't if you're not intentional about it or make that deliberate attempt to make sure they build that bond.
Mm-hmm.
But I think these days we're seeing more of that, with like dads being involved, wanting to bond with the kids from from birth and being part of the story.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, now the next part of the interview is a quick culture check. So we talked a lot about Nigerian culture, Senegalese culture. I think there's a lot of overlap. So I wanted to ask you a couple of things and see if we have that in our culture and see if you guys do the same thing in Nigerian culture as well.
Okay.
Now, in the US, they call it doula, but back home, it's just like the woman in the village or like, women who know about birth, not maybe
Yeah.
from a medical standpoint, but just because they've done it so many times. Do you guys have that as well?
Yes, we do. We do.
Okay. We talked about the naming selection process. It's funny you brought that up because I had it on my notes here, but I'm very, very curious about your guys' naming selection. I need to know how many names are submitted during that naming ceremony.
But girl, so everybody brings 3 names. Like, so imagine if you have a family of 5, I don't know, 5. If you have 5 siblings, and then your parents, like your husband's parents and his siblings. So if everybody's bringing 3 names, so
Hey.
we did the names and write it in, like, A4 paper. This person's name, this person. So during the ceremony, the master of ceremony or whoever is leading the ceremony, when it gets to the, you mention all the names of like the baby, this, that, that, until they get to like the parents, and then the grandpa, like my husband's like paternal side, until they get to that final name where everybody knows that, okay, those are like the names the baby will be like on print, like,
Yeah.
the middle name and the surname. So it's a lot of names for sure.
Yeah. That's crazy. I hope I witness that one day. Maternity shoot, we're now starting to do that more in Senegalese culture. I've seen definitely maternity shoots on the Nigerian side, so I think we have that in common. Do you guys have circumcision for baby boys?
We do.
Okay. And then you do ear piercings for baby girls?
Yes.
How soon?
I think the ear piercing is so after they do like this test, which is like a few days after you're in the hospital, make sure the child is clear. So within like, I think during this whatever, after 8 days, so within like a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think Senegal, they do.
Piercing.
What is it?
So at the naming ceremony, they already have the piercing, like the girls, because they've done days or so, just like a day before the naming.
I remember my baby got hers, I think at 2 months, just because the doctors here were like, she has to wait till she gets certain shots. Then I went to the mall and this lady, she was white, and she was like, she already has her ears pierced. And I was like, girl, this is late. We're African. She was like, I was 16. I was like, 16. Yeah. That's interesting. We, in our culture, we shave the baby's hair, the first hair. They will shave it at the naming ceremony. They say that it's unclean hair. It's not mandatory, and it's from a religious standpoint, but it is like, it's called sunnah, which is a good thing to do. But if you don't do it, it's not like, you don't get a point off if you don't do it. Do you guys do that?
I think it's the same. Some people do it, but like you said, you don't get a point off if you don't do it. Like you wanted to.
And then the last one I have is putting your baby on your back. I think a lot of Africans do that.
Yeah. Versus you tie the baby. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nice.
I feel like that way. What was your experience? Did you try the back and the front to compare? Like, what was easier?
When I'm going out, I do the front one just so I can keep an eye on her. But in the house, I'll just throw her on my back, so my hands will be free, and all of this will be free too for me to be doing what I need to do.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you. That was those are all the questions that I had, and I think this was overall just a really good discussion. I want to thank you for making the time. It's been a while since we talked, so this is a really good way to catch up and just see what each other's up to. But I think also our listeners will be able to learn a lot from, our different cultures. I think we talk about African parenthood in such a way, like social media, when they talk about African parenthood, like they're not playing games, but there's a human aspect to it. So I'm glad that we were able to talk and just talk about our experiences. Any
Yeah,
final
sure.
thoughts?
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me. I really enjoyed this. I was willing to go on and on, like,
Yeah.
definitely any other topic, any other, we can definitely jump on and chat. But thanks
Yeah.
for
No, of course, definitely. We'll have to do a follow-up episode for sure.
sure.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Tayo, and thank you to everyone
Thank
for listening. I'll see you guys next time.
you. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Ciao.